below the waist after a change of possession is an illegal hit, period. And it doesn't matter what you're trying to do. I don't get the idea that Eli Apple was going to catch Tyquan Thornton and apply a legal block to him. Right. And also the whole play was a waste of time. It was a turnover that wasn't going to count. And if anybody knew it on the field, it was the guy who actually threw the ball forward. It was intentional grounding. But it wasn't a fumble.
Well, that's another discussion.
It felt like a frustration move.
Exactly. It did. That's what it felt like.
But it felt like a pure frustration, punk-ass move to me.
That's I don't disagree with your language there. I think that's about right. And one, to the point we talked about with Derwin James, it's just 2022. It's unnecessary about the club of football players and taking care of each other within the realm of the sport. Hey, you go over the middle. Yeah, I'm going to hit you as hard as I can. Yeah, you're in the pocket. I'm going to hit you as hard as I can. Do all that. But I'm not going to try to hurt you or ruin your career. And that's where you're going along those lines there with an illegal block. Not with a guy that's definitely not expecting to be blocked, and then you're attacking his legs. And he's chasing the guy that, ran the fastest combine in the 40 last year? Like, Eli Apple wasn't going to catch Tyquan Thornton, who ran 4.23 last year, or 4.24. Like, that wasn't going to happen. So, yes, I'm with you. That just seems like kind of a babyish, punkish type of move there that's just not necessary in our sport.
We reported last night he will be fined $11,139. That is the negotiated amount between the league and the union for an illegal low block. The letter will go out today or tomorrow. No suspension and no repeat offender status, because for prior instances where he was accused of dirty play, he was never even fined. There was the twisting of the ankle of Brian Burns of the Panthers back in 2021. Burns complained about it loudly. There was no fine there. Here's the video from back in Week 9. Ball's out, and as Burns is trying to get it, you see that he's just holding onto the ankle and twisting it around. And it's one thing to hold it and keep him from trying to get to the ball. It's the other thing to do that where you twist it. That wasn't good. And then we saw earlier this year on the Monday night game, Jaquan Brisker took a foot to the biscuit here. Watch this on the slide. This is the Tom Brady move. Slide down, foots up, and ouch, that hurts. Brisker would have his revenge later that drive with an interception. And Jones wasn't fined for that either. Brady was once fined $10,000 for doing that to Ed Reed. And Reed claimed that he had to have surgery on his hip because of what Brady did. But now Jones has been fined, and he should have been. And I think it's uncalled for. And somebody needs to talk to him about, like you said, this brotherhood, the brethren of being in the NFL. You need to protect each other. And these gratuitous, unnecessary hits, we're trying to get them out of the game to avoid unnecessary injury, and this is an example of it. There was no cause for it. There was no reason for it, and it does allow reasonable minds at least to differ on the question of whether or not it was dirty. Eli Apple thinks it was. Mac Jones thinks it wasn't. I tend to agree with Eli Apple because I think it was unnecessary, and it just felt like he's frustrated, he's pissed off, and I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah, that's right. It just I'm with you in that. We don't need it, and it had nothing to do with the play, and you don't need to attack guys' knees like that, especially a corner who's 10 yards behind the guy running the ball. Now, the amazing thing, too, and I think plays into what we're talking about here is, Mac Jones got up and chased him full-fledged because he thought he fumbled the ball. And I've yet to really talk to anybody who knows football that doesn't think that was a fumble, except for 345 Bar Gap. That was, to me, was one of the shockers of the game right there, too. Not only was that a dirty play and not necessary, and it's not part of the sport anymore, I just was shocked by the ruling. I was shocked by it.
I'm not because I see his arm. He's throwing it. He's trying to throw the ball.
I know. It's just the ball.
We probably can't get it.
I know. We weren't going to talk about it. But the ball came out of his hand before he was trying to shuffle it. That's where it went forward empty hand. It just was he was trying to shovel it. So it was a little different. But either way, that was a crazy game. Had a lot of things to talk about. And it's unfortunate when a game gets overshadowed by a play like this. It's a cheap shot, and we don't need to do that, and especially when it's 10 yards behind the line, the guy carrying the football.
Key moment, too, because the Patriots would go on to score, make it 22-18, and then have the ball inside the 10. The Ramondre Stevenson fumble when he was trying to get a little more yardage. There was questions whether or not his forward progress had been stopped. They had a pool report after the game where the referee said, well, they deemed his forward progress hadn't been stopped, or they would have blown the whistle and ended the play. But that fumble by Stevenson ended the day for the Patriots. It looked like they were going to come back and get the win. And they've had a couple of them now that came down to the wire and ended in nutty fashion in different ways, the Raiders game and the Bengals game. But you take those two games, you flip them around, you flip the outcome around, and they're very much alive. Now they're teetering, and it's basically Dolphins-Patriots this weekend in an elimination game. Loser's done, winner still has a chance.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they play this out. I mean, New England's not a great football team. It is shocking, that they're a team that you certainly can say is a playoff football team, and they're going to have themselves to blame for self-inflicted mistakes. I think that's kind of the shocking thing of all, right, Mike? I mean, whether it's the Minnesota game where it felt like they kind of controlled it, and penalties and messing up coverages and the kick return and all of that. These last two games, messing up situational football. It's rare. The turnovers, in the Baltimore Ravens game where they had a chance to win. We haven't seen those type of mistakes from a Bill Belichick-led football team. And this year it's happened, more than once. And I think that's kind of the shocking thing about their season.
Going to be interesting to see what happens after the year ends for the Patriots. What kind of changes will be made, who's let go, who's reassigned, who's brought in, does Belichick stay? I'm starting to get the sense that he will be back, but how could you not expect some major changes to the way things are done to get this team back to where it's been? Robert Kraft last year was disappointed. It's been 3 years since a playoff win. Well, it's now going to be 4 years since a playoff win, assuming they don't get in, or if they get there, they make it past or don't make it past the wild card round. But it feels like they're going to have a hard time getting in, and they're going to have a hard time competing if they get there. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.